I've 27F, been with my boyfriend, 29M, for just over 2 years, and up until a couple of weeks ago, I thought everything was going great. We've been living together for over a year. We had disagreements about minor things like every couple, me being indecisive about what restaurant to go to, him leaving his dirty clothes outside the hamper, stuff like that. But for the most part, we always got along really well. We share multiple hobbies, and have pretty much spent every day we had off together for the last 2 years. A few weeks ago, I was home while he was at work. I needed to work on a project for work that would be much easier to complete on his desktop computer rather than my little cramped laptop. So I texted him and asked if it would be okay for me to use his desktop. He said sure, and texted me the password. About 30 minutes later, I got a little bored and decided to check my Facebook. When the site came up, the email and password were already filled out, with an email address I had never seen before. I knew about other email addresses my boyfriend had, but had never seen this one. I'm not proud to admit it, but something about the email address that I had never seen after 2 years together gave me a funny feeling, and I snooped. As soon as I opened it, I realized why he had kept this email account under wraps. The inbox was full of messages from a website specifically for people looking to have affairs. I opened one up, and it allowed me to view his account information. This mysterious inbox was also filled with porn, mostly still images. Now, I like porn. I watch it myself. He knows that, and knows I have no problem with it. But this was something different. There were some pictures of porn stars, but mostly pictures of girls in swimsuits, people we know that looked like they'd been taken from Facebook, including some of my really close friends. There were pictures of girls he had taken on the bus surreptitiously looking down their shirts. There were naked pictures of me that I didn't know he had taken, pictures of me in the shower and in our bedroom. Finally, there were pictures of a female friend of his that had visited for a few days that clearly had been taken in our bathroom. The shower curtain and other items in the picture were recognizable. It was apparent that the pictures had been taken without her knowledge. At this point, I felt completely sick and betrayed. When I confronted him that night, he told me it was some kind of addictive problem, and he's been saving pictures of women for years. I confronted him about everything I had seen, especially the account on the cheating site, the naked pictures of his friend that had been taken in our bathroom, and the naked pictures of me that I hadn't consented to him taking. As it turns out, he admitted that he had a hidden camera in our bathroom for weeks. It was disguised as a flash drive, and he had left it on the counter pointed at the shower and toilet. Apparently, it was motion sensitive and would take pictures whenever someone moved in front of it. He said he didn't have any other pictures from it other than what I had seen, and just compulsively saves pictures he takes by sending them to this email address that I had found, and never looks at them again. What is this? Is it a fetish? Is it curable? He said he would get help and start going to SLA meetings, but he only went to 3 and hasn't been back. I feel violated and sick thinking about this, and welcome any advice or input from anyone who has been in a similar situation. Edit. To those saying I should report him to the police, he deleted all of the pictures and the email address the first night that I confronted him about it, and I destroyed the camera. Rage overcomes logic sometimes. I'm not planning to file any report to the police, and even if I did, there would be no evidence. However, I appreciate your comments and for reinforcing how serious this is. TLDR, my boyfriend took pictures of me with a hidden camera. Has this happened to anyone else? How, or should, I move forward with our relationship? Relevant comments. Slim Shanny, why would you want to stay? You can't trust him. Did you delete the photos of you? Was he cheating the entire relationship? Not that it would have any impact on you staying or leaving. I'd leave regardless. Just curious if he's been doing this the entire time. OP. I'm having a hard time writing this in a way that doesn't make me sound pathetic and weak, because logically I completely agree with you. It's hard to me to reconcile the person that I thought I knew for 2 years and have shared many good times and made lots of memories with the person that would do something like this, even though obviously they are one and the same. To answer your other question, he has had the email address and has been saving pictures for years, long before I met him. However, it appeared that all of the pictures up until about 6 months ago were from porn sites, and he only started saving pictures of people that he took more recently. OOP on if she will ever get the whole truth. Thanks for your comment. As for the whole truth, at first when I confronted him, he told me that he had already gotten rid of the camera. However, once he described it to me, I remembered seeing it in a closet and went and got it. He hadn't gotten rid of it after all. He already showed that he's definitely capable of lying to try to protect himself. How long since she found the camera? OOP. 2 weeks. Spoth 3D. Thanks for the response. Given the horrible red flags, why not immediately dump him? That is what I'm curious about. I don't know you any better than what you've posted, but you're better than this, OP. OP. I know you're right. It's tough because we live together, So there's a whole life we have to tear apart from a logistical standpoint, even though it's already been torn apart in a different way. I expect that you will be appalled by this response, but the thought of coming home to this apartment without him here has been unbearably sad to me. I guess I'm not really grieving the loss of this guy, more like the loss of the relationship I thought we had before I found all this out, if that makes any sense. I need to stop making excuses and just get him out of here. Update November 2014. Link to original post. First of all, thank you to everyone who replied to my original post. Some of you came down pretty hard on me, but I needed to hear it. Some of you were incredibly kind, and I needed that too. I finally broke down and told my closest friend what had happened. I used my original post to help me do it, since I was having a tough time explaining it aloud. She read the story and said many of the same things I was told in the comments on my original thread. Most of all, she supported me and validated my feelings that this was a really big deal and not something that could be swept under the rug and forgotten. It was a huge relief to tell her. You know that trite thing people say about a huge weight lifted off your shoulders? I know how that feels now. Before I made my post, I had already been talking with my then BF about how I wasn't sure if our relationship could recover after what he had done, and I had told him that I wanted him to move out to give me space. After my post, and after finally opening up to my friend, I told him that he should plan on the move and breakup being permanent. Up until then, I had been a little vague about taking a break and seeing what happens down the road. But once I faced down my emotions about what he had done, I realized that I was just trying to soften the blow, and the best thing to do was to live in reality and just move forward. As of 2 days ago, he has officially moved out. I told my family that the relationship was over, and my parents have been incredibly supportive and are even going to help me pay to keep living in my current apartment, so I can take my time finding another place to live and not have to deal with moving right now. Here's the part you guys probably won't be thrilled about. I'm not going to report him to the police. I did, however, reach out to his friend, the one who was an unknowing victim of this, via Facebook. I know. I hate Facebook as a means of communication too, but it's the only way I have to contact her. She has not replied to me, and I don't know if she will, but I gave her my contact info and asked her to call me so we could talk. I honestly can't say whether I hope she calls or not, because I absolutely dread having that conversation with her. But guys, if I'm able to get in touch, I will suck it up and tell her. I also told my ex-BF, before he left, that I thought he should tell her himself, but that I plan to, so he may have spoken to her already, though I sincerely doubt it. I wish for my ex-BF to get well, and to continue attending meetings and get into the recovery process to the point that he is able to live a productive life. It's been a sad, painful path for me to realize the fact that that life will not include me as a part of it. But despite how hard this is in this moment, I believe the ends justify the means. TLDR. It's over, he's gone. Relationships, you helped me, and I'm grateful. Relevant comments. Locust Smoke. I'm glad to see the update and that you rid yourself of him. I'm very disappointed that you didn't file a police report. He will do it again, and by not reporting him, you're allowing someone else to get hurt the same way you were. Deleted. Crime victims are not morally obligated to press charges in order to prevent future victims. The only person responsible for his deplorable behavior is her ex-boyfriend. OP. Thank you. People really latched on to the police involvement issue in this thread, and while I think it's probably the right thing for other people in similar situations, it's absolutely not the right thing for me right now. I hope other people who have been in a situation like this read your comment too, because I think it's spot on, but it's easy to forget that.